Good evening, everyone. It's Sparks, back for more Final Fantasy XIV. I had planned to start considerably earlier in the day, but some unforeseen circumstances delayed me massively. First being that I spent most of the day waiting for an engineer to come out, and didn't want to risk starting a stream while I was waiting for them. They never ended up showing up, which is really annoying because I feel like a day has been wasted. But oh well. I did go and do a democracy, so hopefully we get rid of the Tories and can move into an era where we have somebody more competent in charge for a change. But I guess we'll just have to wait and see. For now, let's continue with the story. Alright, so first things first. Wait. I have to say, but I'll have to get rid of one because it's useless. But, yeah. I'm already aware I can't spend them on anything, though. That was quicker than I expected. Let's see. Oh my, this delivery is better than I could have imagined. Almost too good, in fact. My customers might come to take such quality for granted. Thank you for your hard work. It's always comforting to see my shelves stocked. Yeah, we're once again starting off nice and quiet and slow with the role quests. I must say, there's no greater reassurance than knowing I have wares to sell. Even though this was but a trial run, you conducted yourself flawlessly. Truth be told, when I first began this endeavor, I didn't imagine I would sell such a wide array of goods. But health is a goal we all share, and there are any number of ways to pursue it. Take maca, for instance. It thrives in the harsh climes of Orcapacha, accumulating nutrients from its unique environment. It's been a favorite since time immemorial for its nutritional value and invigorating properties. Springstone, on the other hand, is a type of volcanic rock. It retains heat rather well, so after a bit of polishing and warming, you can place it into your pockets or directly on the skin. Even in hotter regions, it's used to relieve stiff muscles and troublesome aches. I know you came to me seeking gainful employment, but you must place your own health first and foremost. If anything ever ails you, I would welcome your custom with open arms. Speaking of which, you haven't seen Ovlo, have you? I hope he hasn't gotten lost. Judging by his story, he arrived in Tyrol only shortly before visiting my shop. His confident stride suggests he knew where he was going, but how could he... Wait. That's a he? Seriously, I shouldn't be so surprised after all this. It is very common for characters throughout anything anime-esque to just say, put their middle finger up at gender norms and say, fuck all that shit, I do what I want. So, yeah, I should really just not make any assumptions and wait until somebody gives me their pronouns. Which honestly is a practice I've kind of gotten used to trying to do in real life too. Simply because it's so much easier to just wait until either somebody gives me them or somebody else uses them, or they use them, rather than potentially getting things wrong. Yes, I know I can ask. Not everyone is okay with you asking, though, and will take it as an offense if you ask, which is rather annoying. I have returned. Masashune. Hope my delivery meets with your satisfaction. Well, I suppose there was no need to worry. Yes, these are good. They certainly sell. Forgive my imposition, but have you been to Tyrol before, or did you hire someone to guide you? Neither. This is my first time in Tyrol, and I have no money for a guide. Yet the city is home to a great many people. If you ask around for information, you can piece together any puzzle in time. It is, of course, if you have the patience to do so. Does this mean you've reached a decision regarding my employment? Indeed, you did well today. So, for the time being, I have no objection to continuing our business relationship. And of course, I'd like to continue working with you as well, Sparks. However, I understand you aren't the type to stay in one place over long. Let's keep it simple, shall we? Stop by whenever you have time for a few tasks, and I shall recompense you accordingly. Let's sell. Don't be a stranger, Sparks. Sparks, forgive my rudeness for not introducing myself sooner. I am Uvlu, Lo of Kugama Village. I hope to learn much from someone of your experience. Just as I hope to learn about the Shitona from you, Master Shune. May we all prosper under your tutelage. Well, I may prove to be a worthless teacher in that regard, but I suppose I can try. As for our mutual prosperity, that depends on us. That is to say, we need to get selling. My customers will be pleased to see my stocks replenished at last. That's some high cordial we just got. When's the next one should be available at level 92. Greenhorn Gatherer. 93 actually. So not ready yet. We'll have to get some more experience. Which gaining experience right now as miner and botanist and fisher is not as easy when there's no beast tribes that give sufficient XP. Ah well, I'm sure we'll figure it out. Or this will be something that we do in our own time. Flawless, the spines of a true monarchy. Passionine will no doubt puff with pleasure. Puffer. Behold the majesty of a king. Though don't let his winsome roundness fool you. King puffers are notorious net wreckers. A menace dead or alive. What an incredible specimen. I've never seen anything like it. May I partake? Of course, lad. These are your fish to use however you like. You said you're pulling magic out of them, right? How's that done exactly? By eating every piece of it, spines and all. Pufferfish are poisonous. Meaning I suspect. But you best rethink that notion, lad. You try to eat that fish, and it'll gut you from the inside. So that way I can acquire my magic. Rest assured, I've come prepared. As I mentioned previously, my only grass-walking magic is upon the slippery and scaled. Where the rest of my brethren must master many techniques, I must master many fish. The method is simple. I eat a fish in its entirety, and I call upon it at any time. Most Wallaki can only summon a single species, you see. The more I eat a particular fish, the stronger our spiritual affinity grows. So I'm prepared to consume as much as necessary. To this end, I have spent many a moon studying the culinary arts. I prepare any and all fish to complete and pleasurable consumption. Any fish? Even fancy ones? I sell the occasional anchovy for my customers to munch on while they browse my better beauties. But if folks are only looking for a feast, then we make them the fanciest feast I've ever seen. Bishanine, you've got to teach me how to cook. In exchange, you and Sparks will find any fish you need for your rite of passage. You'll have more trials to overcome than one spongy old toad, eh? Did I well. Thank you, Donna. Uhanu. I couldn't ask for a happier arrangement. Likewise, bad lad, you'll be needing a kitchen, won't you? Or did you have a place in mind? No place in particular, I admit. My only aim was finding a suitable fish. The rest I assumed would fall into place. Well, you're welcome to use O'Donoghue's kitchen in the resplendent quarter. Nothing glamorous, but more glamorous than nothing. Your generosity is limitless. Then without further ado, allow me to repair these wondrous puffers you have caught me. And just like that, they're in his pockets. They'll be back momentarily with prepared fish. And there you have it, a king puffer for soup garnished with deep fried spines. You don't get to see what it looks like. I don't think pufferfish can be served in that manner, but whatever. That was divine. You really ate those spines right up. You got some wonderful specimen. Already can feel their energies taking root within me. Don't try that at home, people. Pufferfish is incredibly poisonous and should only be prepared by a trained professional. I must familiarize myself with new fish before I can use them in battle. If you excuse me, I'll find some quieter corner in which to do so. Of course. May your king serve you royally. Let's suppose we wait. Fancy a quick fish? Friendly fish finder. The next one's available at 90. I just remembered an actual faster way of leveling up with these. I'll need to actually make use of that probably, now that I think about it. Anyways, you have those sites ready, the better. Thank you, this is fine work, even better than what I hoped for, in fact. You must be an artisan of some renown abroad. Yeah, pretty much. Had a look at each of the sides, and I'm pleased to say the quality's up to par. Good work, both of you. As for quantity, we have the 6 sparks prepared, 2 made by Papani and 3 by yours truly. For the grand total of 11, we have the amount requested by the client. I'm sorry, I was so fixated on coming up with a design that was easy to use and maintain, barely had time to make them. If I'd been faster, perhaps I could have reduced Sparks' burden. Well, in the end, your design was elegantly simple. That'll come in handy if we ever have to make more. If our customers have an easier time maintaining their tools, all the better. I'll inform the client the sides are ready to be picked up. Won't be a moment. Sorry for the wait. I have the sides you requested here. Marvelous. It was worth coming all the way to the city for such craftsmanship. Now we'll have a much easier time with the harvest. For we Hanu, the harvest is an immense task and crucial to our way of life. The softer reeds are used as food, while the sturdier ones are used to thatch the roofs of our homes and more. You could save our livelihoods. Say our livelihoods are built on reeds. You both assist in crafting good sides, yes? Thank you so much for putting such care in your work. Oh, stop it. It was our pleasure. You act as if it's the first time you've ever been thanked for a job well done. You had plenty of experience as an artisan before coming to work for me, didn't you? I did, but an intermediary took care of transactions, so I never actually met a customer face to face. Believe it or not, this is the first time. I must say, the feeling is amazing. Really, really amazing. In fact, I should be thanking you this. Oh dear, she really is as sweet as you said. You're all. I see why a long-time loner... finally take on that apprentice, yep. I told you, that was just between you and me. I should have pressed... Oh well, it's fine. I'll be letting everyone back home know that Zeralson's Mellwares is the best place to buy their supplies. You'll be hearing from me again before long. I appreciate it. Do come again soon. With a little word of mouth, another order may come in before we know it. That said, Papani, you clearly still need more practice with crafting the essentials. Until she has a proper handle on things, Papa continues to rely on your help. Yeah, no problem. Is pleased with your efforts. She now considers you a meddlesome metal worker. The new next request will be available from Osage upon reaching level 93 as a blacksmith, armor, or goldsmith. Okay. My word, I knew you were an accomplished carpenter, but your craftsmanship has surpassed every expectation. The finished product will be a sight to behold. Hellos. Now then, whenever you are ready, Zemoweni, we may begin. I think I'll start with a famous tale that has been passed down across generations of Hanu Hanu. It is a tale of their benevolent god and of the crop that would enrich their very way of life. We don't get to hear the story, which is a shame. Oh wait, no, do we? Long, long ago, the Hanu Hanu resided in a land beyond the clouds. Though their heavenly home was frigid, their enemies were few, and they whiled away their days dancing in the pale warmth of the sun. But one day, a great storm ravaged these clear blue skies. The wind and rains raged upon those lands so fiercely, it sent a pair of Hanu Hanu tumbling down to the waters below. Yet what should appear but a giant bird, as big as an island? It flew up and caught the Hanu Hanu upon its back. The kindly bird sailed upon the wind and over the great blue ocean, until finally it came to a land kissed by dawn, the land we call Tural. The couple was grateful to stand on solid ground again. The journey had exhausted them, and their energies were spent. They searched high and low for something to fill their empty bellies. And it was there that they found the great bird once again, feasting upon verdant reeds. The Hanu Hanu followed suit. One taste of the sweet reeds filled them with vigor, and their feathers began to glisten with every color of the rainbow. It was then that the couple knew this great bird to be the god Kixi. Sorry, just struggle with some of these. They tended the reeds in its honor, and their brood would grow and prosper, becoming the Hanu Hanu we know today. What do you think so far, Specs? Have you any inspiration for a suitable cover? Splendid. I suspect Zemoweni will have a few more Hanu Hanu stories to tell before we conclude here. We'll have to construct our cover in the meantime. First book completed. With your painstakingly prepared materials, you produce a cover befitting Zemoweni's first batch of tales. You carefully bind Pemeka's pages into the fold, and the tome is complete. Aw, that's nice. It's a real book. I may not be able to read it yet, but just looking at it fills me with joy. Books are remarkable things indeed. Stories told in speech alone will disappear with their tellers, but what is written is promised to survive. But that's my own romanticism showing through. More importantly, I greatly enjoyed your storytelling, Zemoweni. Thought the Hanu once lived above the clouds. People call the Vanu, you say? From your description, they do sound like they might share common roots with the Tural's Hanu. Enjoyed those tales, I know plenty more like them. For example, the ones I heard the other day from a Pelu patron are fascinating. Theirs is a people with a talent for words. I'll have to practice ahead of time if I'm to do them any justice. Please do. We'd be happy to hear them whenever you feel ready. We shouldn't really let him take the original like that. And so ends our first job. It was a pleasure to work with Sparks, and I have a feeling you'll continue to impress. The main reason why I say that is her transcript is for the original, and then getting a printing press to make more. Cover collaborator. Again, I have to get to level 93. So all that's left is you. This consistency, this is rum. Why it's so sweet, I'm tempted to steal a sip right away. It's meant to be pineapple juice. It's weird that it's white. I think we have enough to begin our tasting. It all looks and smells marvelous anyway. As we fashion this drink with Mamelja in mind, allow me to be the first to try it. Well, you finished it, so I can only assume you enjoyed it. Exquisite, thick with the Cheramoa's signature sweetness and aroma, yet utterly smooth in texture. No one would ever guess this juice came from fruit so wholly unappetizing in appearance. Yes, I can safely say that no Mamelja could find qualms with this beverage. I myself would happily drink it daily, and with its nutritional benefits, peeling scales may become a thing of the past. Please, Doctor, you must tell me how you made this. Fast trick, I see. I'll pen a proper recipe later so I won't forget. Of course, it sounds like one that even I could manage. Can I interest you in a glass, Hanlarek? I'd love to hear what moblins think of Cheramoa's flavor. Busy task is waiting. Just keep Halnarek has no time for taste sipping. Well then. Did I offend him? Pay me no mind, Sparks. Sometimes I get caught up thinking. I just wonder how I might have done better. I know I shouldn't pester him about it. The juice you made is just so lovely, In any case, I'd say your prototype passes muster. Our menu has its first new item. I'll have to appeal a lot of Jamal, but I will keep the happiness of my newly moisturized kin at the forefront of my mind. I'll consider what sort of juice I'd like to make next, so perhaps you could familiarize yourself with our local agriculture in the meantime. If you ever find yourself in need of a refreshing beverage, you know where to look. Well, there we go. So that's all those done. Now, ooh, a thought just occurred to me. I do actually have a class that's at level 94. You must need to progress to a certain point in the story to unlock that quest. That's fine. Either way, though, a thought occurs to me. Role quests. We've done all the Shadowbringers ones. We've done all the Endwalker ones. So we've just started on Dawntrail. Right, so what level was the next one? Level 92 for tank. I think it was 94 for healer. And 94 for melee DPS. 92 for physical ranged. 94 for magical. And oh, that's just the joint ones. Okay, well, we'll go back to, let's see, it was Yelmaha is where she was hanging out. We'll head back there as a summoner and continue that quest line. I'm gonna continue with role quests whenever we're at level for them. Just because it's more fun if we do them at level and the story makes a lot more sense. The only reason I did Pictomancer and Viper, like, the way that I did was because of the nature of them. With them both starting off below level 90. Sparks, I hope you've been well. Since last we spoke, the Justiciar has been busy felling fiends all across Davner, leaving a trail of witnesses behind in his wake. More than a few have reported seeing stones falling from the sky, which all but confirms our theory that the treasure is causing the phenomenon. The stories share one more peculiar commonality. It seems the pesty hunts have all been of the seedkin variety. Why he avoids beasts of flesh and blood is yet a mystery. It bears mentioning that each of these eyewitness accounts came from people who were rescued by the Justiciar. It invariably appears just as these creatures attack. The Justiciar has been there to save a day in every single instance of seedkin-related mischief. Awfully suspicious if you ask me, and I'm not the only one who thinks so. Some long-reigning hosts have suggested this year is planning these assaults somehow, so he alone can reap the glory from thwarting them. I agree and think this should be our next avenue of investigation. Yep, I was actually going to suggest the same thing. That definitely does sound like he's setting all this up. Many of these incidents occurred near Giant Skull grounds, so we should start our search there. If you can find one of these monstrous plants before it finds hapless prey, we may be able to shed light upon the Justiciar's methods. Time is up for that, so let's leave at once. Off we go. Benefiting from flight. I'm just gonna fly as high as I can go. Oh, so they didn't get rid of it. It's still there. Weird. I wonder why I thought it looked like it was gone. Weird. Shush, Chrome. Any moving bushes, slithering vines? Not here at any case. Sparkles is the western path. Why don't you search east? If you see anything, don't strike to kill. Weaken it, then capture it with this rope. We'll learn much more from a live specimen. Okay. Gosh, I love being able to fly again. There. something. Aw, it's so tiny. Just realized I don't have my car bunko out. There we go. It's weak enough now. Haha. Captured it. Now come, my new little friend. Let's go introduce you to somebody else. I see plenty of fauna roaming around, but the flora all seems to be of the rooted to the ground variety. Perhaps my hunch was incorrect. Nah, here's a little more bowl. One of my mortal enemies. You found one. In fact, it's exactly as an eyewitness described. I should keep it for the time being. Bring it to the great work, and I'll ask my acquaintance there to examine it with all haste. It's just gonna turn out that this is a man-made seedkin. That's how it's gonna go. Let's see. Just gotta make sure I actually have something to boost experience gain. Should have had that going during the previous missions, but whatever, it's fine. Hello, kindly alchemist. Mr. Pekka told me what to expect. Well then, let's see the thing. I didn't expect to be so diminutive. If Mr. Stepek's intuition is correct, I expect some interesting discoveries are in store. Indeed. Well, what'd you learn? You've brought me quite the fascinating specimen indeed. I can say for certain that this creature's growth isn't natural in the slightest. Biologically, it's still but a sapling, as you can tell by its size, yet it is the result of a specific chemical mixture which is used to spur the growth of seeds and mycelium to an unnatural degree. The agents have a side effect of making the creatures more aggressive, because they're such a small specimen, so boldly attack beings larger than itself. Yet the solution requires ingredients most rare, and the cost of procuring enough to synthesize it would be beyond the means of most. So whoever is behind this, they are likely well heeled. As for the creatures themselves, if they were all grown artificially, perhaps that explains why most of the incidents involve small seedkin. Rumor, rather than wait for them to mature naturally, Justiciar must have accelerated their growth so that he could deploy huge numbers over a short span of time. In fact, his plan likely requires it be small, weak foes or to guarantee his victory. After all, the great Justiciar can hardly be expected to bear the blemish of defeat. With these new details brought to light, I'll say staging these attacks on the common folk. Now we have a new perspective to guide our search. Perhaps you should return to Yamaha. I hear that Justiciar is the talk of village. They doubtless have stories to share. So good idea. Thank you. Your findings have brought us a step closer to unmasking that villain. Let's start at Yamaha. The more accounts we have of Justiciar, the better our chances of predicting his next move. Is this it? No, that's not it. We do have to talk to people. And I gotta fast travel there rather than walking because we can. Da 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 da. Rest assured, the Radiant hosts are well aware of this here. Every day we receive more reports of him combating beasts in the surrounding wilderness. These encounters are never on well-traveled roads, it seems. They occur in remote regions that we scarcely patrol, long routes that are only used by a small number of merchants and porters. We conclude that Justiciar either has uncommon knowledge of the behavioral patterns of these creatures, or they keeps close company with the merchant who travels those obscure paths. Ugh, I do feel a bit tired. Might have an early night. I think definitely have an early night tonight, but try and get as far as we can. I'll rename the video if we don't make enough progress in the main story. Oh, you're hungry to learn more of the Justiciar? He's amazing. I was lucky enough to catch a glimpse of him on the road leading here, facing down a fearsome creature. I don't know how he did it, but he called down rocks from the sky to knock that thing flat. The Radiant hosts were always on patrol, so if he hadn't come to our rescue, that brute would have marched right into our homes. He shouted that he was the savior of Razadhan and even waved at me. It looked so impressive with the sun shining behind him. Ugh. Gag me. Some of these accounts are just so fanciful. Ugh. Don't tell me you've come chasing a half-baked savior. The younglings might be taken in by his honeyed words. Anyone with experience can see that he's nothing but a charlatan. I have a story to prove it. The merchant I know took a tumble as he was transporting his goods. Not long after comes the Justiciar, looking chivalrous as you please in his shining armor. But he offer a helping hand? No, he ran off and there he glanced backwards. He may go on about slaying beasts, but a real hero would never ignore someone in need, even if they were just suffering from scraped knees and a bruised ego. And there's the actual quest done. Nice and quick. Cheap, free XP, really. Some of these role quests aren't really proper quests, which is sad. Right. Before we continue, I am going to just quickly grab myself a drink because I'm feeling thirsty. And also a small snack. I'm not going into a be right back or anything. It's actually something I shouldn't with the game. Let's see. As well as finish these off. Sparks, you have a moment. I'm having a little trouble here. I sought this merchant out because I was told he dealt with the alchemist in the great work. I thought he might know something about the Justiciar. We asked, he's been like this ever since. Apologies. I was just surprised that you would ask me about that madman. What connection could he possibly have with... Have we just accidentally run into the Justiciar? The fiends he fights are grown with rare alchemical materials, and we think he may be staging these encounters. Since you deal in such wares, I wondered if you might know how he came into their possession. I don't know what you're talking about. I mean, I've never spoken to that man. Yeah, you have. I very much doubt that. Perhaps he'll be more receptive to questioning from you, Sparks. Seems to have intimate knowledge of traders and alchemy. Who taught him, I wonder? Anyone with a nose for profit has good relationships with the alchemists. By your way of thinking, anyone of us could be in league with Verzin. Zane, you said. Who is that, may I ask? What did I? No, that's my name. Keep trying, mate. I'd be a fool to continue this charade any longer. My son Verjane is the one you know is just this year. To be suddenly confronted with his litany of misdeeds, I quite lost my composure. Wow, you're his father? Do you know how he came into possession of such rare materials and knowledge? He stole them from me. My most valuable materials and my precious maps. He was the one who chose to hide that fact. I bear the blame for the consequences. What can you tell us about him as a person? Verazane was obsessed with tales of legendary heroes, even from a young age. It made a great deal of money to have him tutored in the art of the bow. He became quite skilled at it, in fact. Not quite as skilled as his arrogance led him to believe. Due to this, and perhaps a lack of ambition, he never aspired to true greatness. Instead, he came to rely upon fanciful equipment and exotic potions, rather than honing with the skill he had. It pained me to see him fall into dissoluteness. But he would brook no counsel. So several years ago, I gave him enough coin to support his lavish lifestyle. He'll never speak with me again. He didn't. Until but recently, when he darkened my doorstep once more. And that was when he stole your goods. Although I would have willingly given them if he had but asked. He was rambling almost incoherently, saying that his heroic deeds as this year had caught the eye of someone named Apiahi, leader of the passage of the Unbound, wherever they are. He claimed that under the guidance of his newfound allies, he had obtained a great power. Power enough to eclipse all heroes who have come before and shall come after, as he put it. Seems he gives what money he still has to these people. To think that for all his fanciful words, he would deign to grasp at hollow glory, all at the expense of Razat Han, there is no greater shame as a father. Given what we know of this shadowy group, they most likely aim to sow discontent through Zane's deeds. He may be so blinded by his own desire for adoration that he can't see whose hands are pulling his strings. Are you saying that he's being used? If that's true, then I can no longer remain silent. So whatever shame it may bring, I see now that sharing my story might be the only way to save my son. Indeed, I suggest you tell the Radiant host at once. Of course, we'll be pouring our every effort into stopping him. Thank you for giving me direction. I didn't imagine our meeting would end this way. Truth be told, I'm not entirely unsympathetic towards Virazane. I bask in my father's reflected glory, having none of my own to speak of. The glory Varian seeks is similarly false. I too shall visit the Radiant host and have them spread word of Justicier's true nature. If people are wise to his trickery, they will be far more likely to aid us. He'll soon learn that a legend built on lies is no match for true heroism. And it's just started raining. Delightful. Okay, next we'll do the healer one, which has us returning to... It was Limsa Laminsa, wasn't it? Ba-ba-da-ba-ba. Come on, finish loading. Yep, there it is. Continuing with that because it'll get us a bit more XP. Ah, it's you, Sparks. I have to forgive the dour mood. I just don't understand it. How is it that Eleret and Kokonoa can so grandiosely reveal their names and identities, yet I remain unable to track them down? I'm following the latest hearsay, but I haven't had much luck. Not a soul's seen them since the incident with Wheelsome and Zarek. That's not to say I've given up entirely. Now that they know I'm on their trail, I suspect they're using my unfamiliarity with this land to their advantage. I dare say they're lying low outside the city. Let's propose a trip to the Morby dry docks. Folk here often speak of it, but I've yet to go there myself, so it seems a place as any. If you're game, I'll meet you there. Yeah, I'm game for that. Ah, there you are, Sparks. While I was waiting for you, this fellow came asking for help. Sorry to trouble ye, but my little brother's gone missing, and I could use a hand finding him. But he said he wanted to see the ships I made, so I started showing him around. The next thing I knew, he was gone. That's probably got himself lost. Oh, that poor dear. I know we still have the heartstring to consider, but I'd like to search for this man's brother, if that's alright with you. Yeah, that's fine with me. Much appreciated. I'm sure we'll find him all the faster with your help. You have me thanks. My brother wouldn't say boo to a goose, so I doubt he'd leave the docks on his own. But he's got a mop of red hair like mine, so you'll know him when you see him. We'll keep an eye out. I know you're itching to search for him as well, so I ask you to wait here in case he comes back. Let's go so we can cover more ground. Good luck. I mean, we all know I'm gonna be the one to find him. Purely on the basis of I'm the main character. Yep, there he is. What's the matter, wee one? I'm scared. Where are you? You take me back to my brother? You found the little one, Sparks. I'm so glad he's safe. I just wanted to see the ships my brother was working on. I thought I could see him better from higher up, but I lost my way. Sound like you've had quite the adventure. But you were very brave to say, so I'll tell you a secret. Even grown-ups get lost. I have an awful time learning my way around somewhere new, even with a map. Really? I guess I'm not the only one. Smile. We like to see those. My brother's very worried about you. So can you promise me you won't go wandering off on your own again? I promise. I should say sorry to my brother, too. Let's take him back, then. I love the auto healing from her. You're a lifesaver, both of you. You deserve a proper reward, but I ain't got much to offer at the moment. Oh, we're in no need of coin. Just some information if you have it. I've seen a Huron woman and a Lawleth man around the docks in recent days. One is an alchemist, and the other is a goldsmith. They likely have a few mammoths with them as well. If not, have you heard any rumors of food or drink that causes ailments when you consume them? Blindness or numbness, perhaps? If you haven't seen or heard anything or anyone like that, sorry I couldn't be of more help to you. That's alright, knowing they haven't been around the docks is equally helpful. That's good, at least. I'll be praying to the navigator you both find who you're looking for. Hey, the two of us ought to be heading home. Thanks again for everything. Good fortune and safe travels to you both. So, still no word of the Unbound, but at least we could help those brothers. Children often let their curiosity guide them, which means they'll naturally wander off on their own adventures. I don't blame that man for worrying as much as he did. Something tells me you speak from personal experience. I do, in fact. I'm the oldest sibling in my family. Can't tell you how many times I've had to search for my brothers and sisters when they were growing up. Now that I think about it, I've barely even told you about my family, or my village, or anything really. I'd be happy to share a few stories if you'd like. The ocean view here is beautiful, so we may as well enjoy the scenery and relax a bit. My people hail from the northern valleys of XIV. We're a close-knit community of hunters for the most part. Children are given spears, well, practice ones, before they even learn to walk, and we hone our tracking skills from a very young age. Is it that surprising? Seems second nature to me. And then again, I've encountered my fair share of surprises here as well. Our village rests in a veritable sea of poisonous plants and animals. Slight injury on a hunt can prove deadly. Thus we believe it prudent to begin our training as early as possible. Oh, there's the idol itself. No matter how skilled we might become, accidents are inevitable, and the heartstring proves vital to our survival. Not only does it produce poison, it cleanses it as well. In the right hands can dispel some of the deadliest natural toxins known to mankind. It even purifies the beasts we hunt. In fact, our diet consists of highly venomous creatures, ones that would normally kill a grown adult if ingested. See why it's so important, then. The heartstring allows us to lead a quiet, peaceful life in lands where others dare not tread. It always has. This is why I never imagined someone like Elleret would take that away from us. When I left, our village food stores were well stocked. I can't bear the thought of my younger brothers and sisters going hungry. I must return the heartstring as soon as I can, for their sakes. I wish to bring back their smiles and make them feel safe again, just as we did for that young boy. In any case, thank you for listening. Thinking of home puts me in good spirits. As long as I remember who and what I'm here for, I'll be alright. I know it. But I've kept you long enough. I think it's time we made our way back to Limsa Laminsa, don't you? Wow. There wasn't even any fighting. Or any progress towards the plot of this particular quest line. Really. Like, yeah, we got to learn more about her, which is nice, but learning more about a character who only exists for the purposes of this quest line is not really that big a deal. Oh well. That was a much needed reprieve. But we'll need to plan for our next destination and soon. Well now, fancy meeting you here. good to see you two again. What brings you to Limsa Laminsa? Nothing of import, really. Just a bit of restocking before our next job. We haven't spotted you along the way. Didn't want to miss the opportunity to greet our heroes. Our client arrived to swift perch in one piece, thanks to your timely assistance. Indeed, but I regret that you had to see us in such a pitiable state. We're both grateful for your aid. When last we met, you spoke of pursuing those two charlatans, did you not? Yes, that's right. They've stolen a precious heirloom from my village, so I'm doing everything in my power to return it to its rightful place. So that's the way of it. Bombastic as those two were, we've not seen hide nor hair of them in Ailport since, nor of any incidents like ours either. I have a feeling that it won't stay in the shadows for long. If we sniff out any suspicious incidents while we're out and about, we'll keep you informed. I won't say no to some extra pairs of eyes around the island. I've made my base of operations here in the city, so if you hear even a peep about a poisoning, you know where to find us. Well, we may not have found any leads on Elleret, but I'm glad we had a chance to chat. And with Wisdom and Zarek on our side, things are looking up. For now, I'll keep in touch with our newfound allies. Should I hear any news from our culprits, be sure to let you know. Alright, so that's that one. So let's see. We want to do physical ranged, which is the one in Alamigo. And we also want to do tank, which is the one in Ishgard. We'll start with the Ishgardian one. If only because of the fact that I've got two stages of it I can do. With this class being up at level 94. There you are, Sparks. I've been walking Ishgard's streets whenever I've been able, and I've taken to searching for any sleeping people. See, the land I'm from isn't much warmer than this, and people know not to tempt fate by dozing off in the open air. Even those blind with drink manage to find their way home somehow. I figure the only force powerful enough to overcome that instinct for self-preservation would be the cradle. So if we find a sleeper exposed to the elements, we may very well discover Leophine nearby. Can't imagine she brought it all this way just to remain idle. It's a tedious process. We need to scour every back alley and shadowy road walkway before anyone catches something much worse than a cold. Master Naren, Master Nawata, I bring good tidings. The Temple Knights wasted no time distributing handbills across Ishgard to Leofein's description. These efforts have already borne fruit. We've recently received a report of someone matching her features being sighted. Really, where? She was sighted near Camp Dragonhead by a patrolling sentry. He described a woman with red hair and a distinct scar on her forehead. The outcome we reached by passing through the Great Judgment and heading east. Once there, speak with Sir Aganal for the full report. I knew she'd show herself. Let's hurry, Sparks. Yes, let us go. Thank goodness it's a fast travel location. We'll be getting back to the story soon, don't worry. I just want to get caught up with all these little stories. I was informed you were on your way. This is concerning the report by one of our sentries, yes? Side warning Mac description in the handbill sent by the congregation. So it heads south along the footpath, but that is all we know. Yes, this is Ogino. Genio. But hold fast, I'll send aid at once. What happened? A shipment of supplies was waylaid by monstrous beasts. A contingent of temple knights should have been protecting it, but something is amiss. They need our help. We should be in your debt. We would be in your debt. The shipment was attacked on the road west of the observatorium. I shall muster more knights. Please, go find my men before any lives are lost. This is gonna be the first attack, isn't it? Also, it's south. From Dragonhead, so almost certainly involves the person we're looking for. She should be close, right? I'll search the other side of the river, Sparks. You search further down the road and keep your weapon at the ready. Hi there. Oh no, the chocobo are asleep. I hope they're just asleep. They look to be sleeping. Yeah, they're just sleeping. You saved us. We were almost... Hey there. You won't be feasting today. A moment too soon. With the wide eye watches eternal, and eternal is asleep it bestows. Yep. We were too late. No, they're not. Just look, they're asleep is all. Good, good. Our trusty chocobos suddenly became unsure on their feet, and the wagon toppled onto the side of the road. There was nothing for it but to fix the damage on the spot. Temple Knights went to secure the air. Before I knew it, each and every one of them had fallen asleep where they were standing. Then the beast attacked. It was just me before those snarling fangs. I had to wake up, sleep here any longer, and the cold will have you. Especially when you're wearing heavy metal armor. Ugh, what happened? A magical artifact happened. We fell asleep, but we were patrolling. Must be mistaken. Temple Knight would never shirk his duty so. They called me a liar. I saw you fall over on your arse with my own eyes. If not for Sir Equino's quick response to the bravery of these warriors, we all would be food for the vultures by now. The congregation will hear of this dereliction of duty, you can be sure. Now hold on just a moment. They aren't the ones to blame. The sacred relic by people was stolen and now it's the time. Now isn't the time. Sorry, I forgot I said anything. Whatever dizziness overtook the chocobo seems to have passed, so I'll resume my journey once the carriage is repaired. Assuming my guards are quite refreshed, I believe we can make it on our own. Please, return to Camp Dragonhead and warm yourselves. You should be okay with opening up about what the relic does. There's no coincidence that giant birds and the two guards took leave of their senses around the same time. This is the work of the cradle. But even if Leofwine was here, she is no longer. Let's return to the city and consider our next steps. Our next step should be informing everyone about the dangers of the woman we're chasing. Ba ba ba. We have received the reports of the incident near Camp Dragonhead. To our belts, sleeping on duty, by the Fury. Had you reached them even a moment later, this day would have been much darker. Though it pains me to say it, those two shall be punished as befits the magnitude of their negligence. If I may, I don't believe the blame rests entirely on their shoulders. The cradle of the sleepless was used against them, I'm certain. Ah yes, you said it's just the power to lull others into a deep sleep. I admit that would explain these exceptional circumstances. Regardless, they were still bested by their enemy, and their charge was almost killed as a result. Punishment is the only recourse. I see, a harsh stance maybe, but I can respect that you don't treat your duty lightly. Well, if you learn anything else of Leofwine's plots, please let us know at once. Even though we didn't find her, I'm glad we were able to save those soldiers. Thank you for coming to us. Nay, 'tis the Temple Knights who owe you thanks. We shall continue our search, and rest assured, we shall be the first to know of any developments. Sparks, there's more I would tell you about the cradle. Things I should have told you sooner. Join me over there and I'll do my best to fix that mistake. Okay. What haven't you told me? Now you've seen with your own eyes what I've only been able to describe. The narwhal's lullaby can put even hardened warriors into a restful slumber. They may as well be defenseless as a newborn babe. But even with such power, my people have never used it to attack our enemies. Its sole purpose has always been to keep a single person awake. An eternal guardian who would never sleep, never rest. The wide eye. Me. For 10 years I've been awake. 10 years, Jesus. Chaining day and night to gain the strength I have now. Strength to shield my people. Of course, another must receive the weariness I cast aside. The shut-eye. You've met her, in fact. Loa Zanikwi. As I've been awake these 10 years, she's spent the better part of her days in a deep slumber. Her brief years of wakefulness are spent exercising and eating so her body doesn't waste away. And so we've barely spoken, despite how much I depend on her. When we were young, we'd spend our days exploring the mountain pass, but that time is long past. Telling you all this now, I realize how very little of my life has been dedicated to my own pursuits. Loa Zinkri and I both have devoted ourselves entirely to the protection of our village. How did Leofwine steal the artifact from such an accomplished warrior? Trickery, I imagine. About that. No, I've no excuse. It was my fault it was stolen. I'll bear that burden. My protector must take responsibility for his charges. But we don't have the luxury to do a lot of regrets. I see now that although my people never use the cradle for ill, wicked hearts can twist anything towards evil. That's something I can't tolerate. The very thought that this might happen again makes the bile churn in my gullet. We must bring Leofwin's schemes to an end. Leofwin's. Just a person I want to see. I'd like to ask your advice on a certain matter, if you don't mind. It's been a while since my last letter to Lozaniqui. I wanted to wait until I discovered something worth sharing to write her, but we're still completely in the dark. I don't want her to worry, but I don't know what to tell her. Let's see. Whatever you write, don't make her wait too long. Good advice as usual. I wish we had even a single thread to grasp, but an unexciting letter is better than none at all. Alright, I'll start right away. I may not have much time left. Oh, dumb as it's not. It's nothing so grave as that. It's just the last time I used the cradle was just before it was stolen. Luckily, I'm still as alert as I've ever been. It won't be long until I must dream like any other. That will give Leofwin free rein while I'm helpless in bed. There is no quarry more dangerous than one who doesn't sleep. I have to see this through before that happens. Master Nar, Master Tentua, we have received reports that several groups of Templar Knights have fallen afoul of what can only be your stolen relic. Several? Let me guess. They were all guarding someone else. You would be correct. It is the duty of a knight to protect those who cannot protect themselves. If we fail at even that most basic function, then our honor means nothing. As if the incident near Camp Dragonhead was not shameful enough, the knight in these most recent attacks were left in quite compromising positions. Oh dear. Oh dear. Yet the weight of embarrassment is a trifle compared to the guilt we would bear if any innocent came to harm. The Fury was merciful in that respect, but we would rather not see these incidents repeat. Still, while the Temple Knights must work to repair their reputation in the days ahead, it's a far from Gishgard crumbling to its knees. Truth be told, the method of dispatches of the Unbound leave me mystified. But Leofwin was cunning, if nothing else. Till we can discern her true motivations, we have little recourse but to wait until she makes a mistake. Perhaps she gets her jollies seeing people humiliated. Many among the knights have suggested the same. Leofwin may be part of this esoteric order, but she has ever been one to put her own interests first and foremost. The cradle is a tool of peace. If Leofwin uses it for childish pranks, she makes a mockery of its sacred power. We have to get it out of her clutches. And to do that, we have to start asking the right questions. This new information makes me wonder, why she focus her attention on the Temple Knights? Upon the same, posted at Dragonhead are knights from many houses of repute, including House Fort Toms. Being a former Temple Knight herself, Leofwin doubtless knows their habits and training. Perhaps that makes it easier for her to exploit their weaknesses. Then if we follow the knights, we may pick up our trail. It's not ideal, but it's the best we have to go on. Well, a large contingent of knights has but recently been dispatched to Kurthus. You remember Gorgonim Mills, yes? It has lain abandoned ever since the heretics were driven from it. Yet there is ever the risk that unsavory elements might infest it once again. Thus have the Temple Knights planned joint patrols of this premise with other contingents. If you speak with Sir Redwall at Falcon's Nest, I am certain he would be glad to have you along. Okay, I'm gonna need to take a break a moment and run to the toilet. Wait until the cutscene's over at the very least. Then we'll jump into a be right back screen. Alright, gonna be sorting something. Gonna go to the toilet and then we'll get back. really need a stream manager to help me from behind the scenes. It'd be nice to have some games or such running in the background. Unfortunately, getting somebody to help me with this requires me being able to convince somebody to help me. But no one's really interested in that kind of thing. Oh well, too bad. Ba 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 da ba da. Redwald. Ba ba. Is that Master Narad I see? Of course. You are ever welcome in Falcon's Nest. I believe I do not know your companion here. Indeed, whispers of the Temple Knight's humiliations have reached us even here. Falling people on duty, I dare not believe the stories, but it seems there was truth in them after all. They falsely true, but it wasn't their fault. We expect they fell victim to an enemy wielding a powerful artifact. Now the rumors failed to mention anything like that. If they can lull even trained warriors to sleep, they must treat it as a serious threat. Nevertheless, if one knight falls, another is always at the ready to take their place. So long as this artifact cannot put an entire regiment under its spell, I believe we are well positioned to combat it. Interesting. The idea of your allies falling in battle doesn't seem to disturb you at all. Where I hail from, a single warrior is responsible for the safety of his entire village. Make no mistake, we do not doubt our allies' mettle, and we mourn every loss. Each man and woman here knows that if they must quit the battle, another sword just as fierce will take their place. To know that an ally is at your back, it will allow you to fight with abandon. Now, you believe this Leofwin might take interest in our activities at Gorgon Mills, yes? Vardy's already left, accompanied by a group of Temple Knights. Your suspicions are correct, and they are at risk. I would ask that you follow in their tracks and ensure they have not fallen victim to foul play. The mills can be found to the north, just across the Black Iron Bridge. The party should be arriving there soon, conditions permitting. You have to reach them before Leofwin does. Leofwin. I'm not sure exactly how to pronounce her name. I'm going to go with Leofwin, as that sounds the best version, and also because of the fact that I do recall that in a LARP I was part of, we had a character by that name, and that's how their name was spelled. They were an interesting character. I certainly enjoyed watching the chaos unfold with them. You know, this bridge always fascinated me. I just want to check something about it, because it's curious. Yeah, this is... Well, firstly... Hello. How do I get to that? Oh yeah, it's one of those, you have to climb up the thing. There. I am so glad some of the later ones are easier to get to. But the thing I was checking was... Yeah, those are just straight up... Is this a weapon? Has this bridge been a weapon this entire time? Where's my logs? There should be the sightseeing log. There's unlocked there. This testament to the skill of Hospitalis artisan serves the main role stretching for the capital of Dusk Vigil. Primarily of solid stone, the bridge was named for its suspended metal change of black iron impervious to the blazing temperatures of a dragon's exhalations. I swear it looks as if it's designed to fire at a dragon. Which it wouldn't surprise me if it was built for that. Scattering hidden weapons throughout the country is definitely a wartime activity I could see them getting up to here. I still love doing that. We're too late. They're fast asleep. Birdwell gave the impression there were more. These knights must have been the lookouts. We should awaken them, but keep your eyes peeled for the off one. I'll rouse these ones. Sparks, you search the building yonder. Who the hells are you? How'd you get past the guards? It's cute that these guys thought they were gonna get away with this. We succeeded. Hello. It's you. Thank you for your arrival when you did. Those thugs struck when our backs were turned. I assumed the Temple Knights were protecting the entrance, so I wasn't as cautious as I should have been. Were they killed? Sleeping. I've heard the stories, of course, but I didn't think they were true. Whomever's behind this, I'm sure they didn't count on you showing up. For now, we shall tend to our wounds and then finish our inspection here. Master Narad asks that you join the knights outside and wait until we're finished. He spotted her. Yep, she's here all right. As I thought. Just when I was coming bored, I sighted a familiar face among these slumbering knights. So I had to come and make sure it was you. You finally found the courage to show yourself. Hand over the cradle now and I won't kill you. The animation on that jump back. It looked like her entire model just lifted off the air. The landing was alright, but the lift off. What did they call you again? The Wide Eye? You must have had quite the journey to come this far. Be careful, Sparks. This is our quarry. The thief who stole the cradle of the sleepless. This is the off one. That is your ally? Wear their nimble hands. They may seek your artifact for themselves. It matters not, I suppose, before you both throw your lives away. Just you think for a moment. Is the cause you fight for worth the sacrifice? So few of us know true freedom. If there is aught you would grasp from with your own hands, do so before they wither and your eyes shut for the last time. The codes and rules that would bind men are mere illusions. Open your eyes, truly open them, and you'll see a path all your own. Only a fool would waste their life in the struggle of another. Quit spouting nonsense. Nonsense? Perhaps I am here because of another after all. Appa, who came to me at the height of his debauchery and welcomed me into her devious brotherhood. She guided me to great power, yes, and now I lead others upon the unbound path. Yet truth be told, I have little interest in seeing where it ends. Tear down the world's nation, Ishgard among them, usher the world into, what does it matter? Yeah, I do derive great pleasure in shaming the Temple Knights, and seeing the snickers and jeers deflating their pompous stride as they walk down the streets. So I can hasten their fall from grace, I believe I shall keep it. I know the path I walk, the one that leads to your downfall. I won't abandon it. I'll take the cradle back. Then I'll... Oh, you bitch. Oh dear, you seem to have lost your train of thought. Now you cannot hear me. If you want your artifact back, I might suggest stealing it from me while I'm asleep. Considering the burden I have just passed to you, that may not come for some time yet. I feel absolutely transcendent because shackles of fatigue weighed so heavily. Alas, it appears the artifact needs its own repose of sorts. No matter. I have learned more than enough to take my next step. See to it that this lot is disposed of. It's the least we can do for the freedom I have given you. They're throwing their lives away here. But oh well. Haha. Alright, Tentua. Let's get you up. Wakey, wakey, little buddy. Try as you might to rouse Tentua, he seems completely detached from the waking world. It looks like you've saved us twice today. Thank you. What of him? Fast asleep, just as we were. Could this be what Sir Firmalbert warned us of in his report? I see. Then those stories are more than just wicked rumors. I suppose there is some small comfort in the fact that our enemy tipped their hand without causing loss of life. While the drowsiness made my eyes heavy, my ears could not mistake Leofwin's arrogant voice. She would not scruple to attack former comrades in arms. If she would not then she has fallen farther than I dared imagine. Yet we bear the blame for allowing her to get the upper hand, and in so doing put innocent lives in danger. Another black mark on our order. It was only thanks to you and your companions' efforts the snow was not stained red this day. At the very least, allow us to carry him to the congregation. Our work here is done, so we shall accompany them as far as Falcon's Nest. Sparks, pay return to Ishgard and look after your friend. Yeah, I should do that. Though glad I am to see you well, Master Naru. I understand you come fresh from an encounter with none other than Liaofwen. Master Tentuan now rests on the second floor. We shall stand vigil by his side every moment until he opens his eyes again. We should not have long to wait, but if you wish to check on him, please do so at your leisure. There is another matter to discuss. Just before your departure to regain Mills, it seems there was another incident. Your criminals were released from their cells, their guards found in a deep sleep. Doubtless Liaofwen is behind this. Doubtless the ruffians you clashed with were these self-same criminals. Liaofwen is gathering those who bear a grudge against the Temple Knights to her side, using this animosity to her advantage. We now know for certain that Liaofwen is the mastermind of these attacks, and that her aim is to chip away at the very foundation of the Temple Knights, our honor. When I shared these revelations with my superiors, it was decided that none would speak publicly of the artifact and its powers. Curious. The passage of the Unbound seeks to overthrow the nations of the world. One obvious method to achieve this goal would be to stoke the flames of unrest among the common folk, thus sinking Ishgard into a mire of chaos and distrust. None like the blasphemies of the final days. So long as these failures are placed squarely on the shoulders of the Temple Knights, we can avoid from fomenting a more abiding mistrust in the nation's very core. For Ishgard's peace, I would gladly suffer any disgrace. The question remains as to whether we can apprehend Liaofwen before she tears our reputation to tatters. When Master Tentuan slumbers, it falls to us to search for clues that might point towards her whereabouts. Yep, that's fair. Alright, what's next then? Alright, so that's all the tank ones up to date. Healer up to date. Melee DPS is up to date because I only have a 93. Physical ranged, I could do one more with that. Magical range, done. Is that? Yeah, so. For this one, we want to go back to Walger's Reach. Do the level 92 quest for this one, and then continue with the main scenario. Sparks, I heard something that might help us. One of the soldiers has been contending with the same bandits who stole the vessel. I'll go and find it. Give me a moment, would you? Sorry to keep you waiting. Ha, when she told me she had been sent an assistant, I never would have guessed it'd be the savior of Alamigo himself. You're something of a local celebrity, I take it. I'd love to hear more about that, but for now, let's concentrate on the matter at hand. Yes, quite. The bandits you've been chasing are behind a spate of recent incidents in Alamigo. What's more, it appears that XIV is part of a larger network known as the Passage of the Unbound, which is spreading its mayhem far and wide. In particular, they've been carrying out raids on trade caravans heading here from Gridania. We've increased patrols along that route, but the bastards strike so quickly that they've usually made good their escape by the time aid arrives. On the rare occasion we've caught them in the act, they use some kind of device or magic object to deflect their arrows and send us sprawling. That's the Steelhog vessel. It was stolen from my village, you see. I'm sorry for all the trouble it's caused. The one who took it, XIV, said something about using its power to help the oppressed and destitute. What do you think he meant by that? That sounds familiar. The reports say the thieves were shouting something along those lines during the other raids. They claim the merchants are overworking and underpaying their laborers and therefore deserve to be targeted. I don't see how stealing a bunch of goods helps the workers, and there's not a shred of evidence that anyone is being exploited. If you ask me, they're just in it for the money. In any case, their reasons won't matter a jot once they're behind bars. But for that, we'll have to catch them first. The most recent incident occurred near Porta Praetoria, one of the waypoints on the road to the palace. If you want to know more, you best hear it straight from the commander there. Anyway, I'll send word ahead to let her know that you're coming. Assuming you are, that is. Yes, of course. Much appreciated. This sounds like a promising lead. The soldiers here were good enough to explain the lay of the land around here, so I shouldn't have any trouble making the journey by myself. I'll see you there. To Porta Praetoria. Good, you're both here. My colleague at the Reach has told me everything. I can confirm that we've had several sightings of Shaltafeet and his gang in recent days. They've even taken to ambushing our patrols. Whereas most brigands would flee from armed and armored soldiers, this lot seems to take pleasure in goading us into attacking. The treasure they carry makes them invulnerable. It can also emit devastating blasts, but that's only effective at short range. Shaltafeet wants to draw your soldiers to close quarters, because there they stand no chance. Well, that explains their uncommon boldness. Thank you, this information will go far in helping us contend with bandits. Sorry to interrupt. Local merchants. Who might you be? How simple pillars, my good lady. I myself am of good... Wait a minute. That face. I swear to God, if this is who I think it is. I myself am a Gridanian stock, and after learning my craft in the markets of Eldal, I deliver all manner of finery to eager patrons throughout Eorzea. From me, I hope you'll forgive me, but I couldn't help overhearing you mention a gang of highwaymen. We've heard similar tales from other traders passing through, and it seems some stretches of road are more dangerous than others. In fact, the bandits are most often seen at a specific location not far from here. If you like, we can take you there ourselves. Please, by all means. Wait, Sparks can take care of himself. I can't allow any more civilians than necessary into an area believed to be teeming with bandits. It seems I have no choice but to ask you to go without me. Sorry, but if those highwaymen did turn up, I wouldn't be much good in a fight. While you head off to investigate, I'll see if there's any more information to be had here. That said, I shall leave our newfound friend in your capable hands. What? Oh, if you say so. I suppose we should be on our way then. If we do run into those highwaymen, you'll protect us, right? No, it's not who I thought it would. One's headed your way now. You know what to do. I accept. If you do this without my help, I'll find someone who can. Show some backbone for once. I did have suspicions about him because he looked familiar to another character from a different quest line. But it's not that guy, obviously. I think that's our friend who's trying to cause problems. We're almost there. It's just on the other side of this gully. Actually, if it's all the same to you, we'll wait here while you go on ahead. This is already more than close enough for my liking. Oh, those poor, poor bandits. They think they have the upper hand here. Silly, silly children. They have no idea what they're getting into. Ah, silly. Well, I better go talk to the merchants. Yeah, well, starting the purple-haired one was the leader of the bandits in disguise. Because he was wearing a mask when we first met him, I think. You beat them? All of them? How very fortunate. Elena, I best contact the boss. I'm sure he'll want to know all about this. Yard, he's still talking to your friend and the commander. They'll be glad to hear you've come to no harm. You'll never guess what, boss. Trust a lot of them. Yes, understood. I'm not quite sure why, but he said they'll be here in a jiffy. Wow. I've reacted to the fact that a friend just informed me that the results from part of Sunderland's election are in, and the Tories dropped way down into 5th place. Labour won, great, which is great. It's what we were expecting. I'm not happy that Reform came in 2nd. As they're the party that was like pushing heavily for Brexit, and their current head is a right tosser. But yeah, looks like the early polls were correct on certain regards. We'll see if it continues. Should you beat them all single-handedly? Well, yeah, easy. Gods be good. I'm glad you're on our side. Anyway, I'll take it from here. My, very impressive. Jolly convenient for those villains to appear exactly where we thought they would, too. Of all, I'm glad no one was hurt. Well, no one important, that is. I'm relieved to see that everyone's safe. It must have taken a lot of courage to bring Sparks here, knowing that danger could be lurking around every corner. Are you sure you're all right? If you're putting on a brave face for our benefit, there's no need, I assure you. No, we're fine. Couldn't be better. Well then, I'd say that's enough excitement for one day. We best continue on our way down Megan Quarter. Where's the sale, deals the broker, that sort of thing. I dare say it'll be some time before any ne'er-do-wells have the gall to descend upon this neck of the desert. And as for you, my friend, I'll advise you not to stray too far from the beam path. You know what's good for you. Ta-ta! Yeah, you two should go after him. You know, keep the illusion that you're working together. Well, you are working together, but keep the illusion that you're actually allies properly. There's nothing left for us to do here, so let's head back to Porta Praetoria. That was all very strange. One moment they're helping us apprehend criminals. Next they're brafing us to peddle their wares elsewhere. Merchants certainly are a busy lot, aren't they? Not that I'm complaining, of course. With those suspects in custody, I'm sure the Resistance will be able to wring some valuable information from them. Dissect all that rigging will take some time, though. Looks like we've been given opportunity for a little rest. You've certainly earned it. Well, I think that's us all caught up with role quests for now, because Viper's at 93 and is the melee one, and we already have that done to 92. So, yep, it's back to the main scenario. Oh yeah, off camera I went and explored like the entirety of this area and found all of the what's it called? Ether currents. So we don't have any of those to find right now. Where's my chocobo? They must have despawned without me realizing, which makes me sad that I didn't notice. Oh well. Onwards! We have a grave site to go visit. Ow. Ha! Scorch the earth, my phoenix! Wahaha. Oh, it's fun to just use special abilities of certain mounts. This one especially, just because it's a little explosion. Although, let me make sure everything's all set up right. Yeah, we're okay for glamours. I wonder if there's an eye patch that's been added to the face wear options. I hope so. It would be good for the other half if we can have that as a feature. Take a look at this crater. There is no wood, no trees, not even dried grass, and yet the ground still burns. This will be one of the scars left by Valagamada's rampage, as told by the saga. The Sky Ruins fires are described as eternal, flames that can be quenched by neither storm nor time. Here I thought a literary embellishment. But now I've lost sight of Wuklamot. Proof is northwest along the main road, so hopefully she's still heading the right way. I'm sure she's fine. We'll find her. I think I'll try and make enough progress until either it hits 1 o'clock on my end, or we get to, what's it called? Or until we unlock the next duty. Because I don't think there'll be enough time to get through the entire duty. So, making enough progress to at least unlock that would be good. There's a patient gravekeeper here. Book Lamont wins again. Looks like everyone is here now, so... Greetings, friend. Are you Gerfler? No, I am not. We did, however, task him with providing a lesson on sepulchres to those who came in search of him. Oh, so we were meant to find our way here after all. Will you tell us who is buried here? No one is buried here in the sense you mean. When a body has served its purpose, we consign it to the flames, then scatter its ashes across the peaks. Moreover, we do not conceive of death as others do. For us, the person does not die when their heart ceases to beat, only when they are no longer born in the hearts of all who know them. This is why we build our sepulchres before age or mishap claims us, that we might etch ourselves into the living chronicles for all eternity. This grave belongs to a good friend. This mortal vessel ended its journey some years ago, but it lives within me even now. Up there stands my own sepulchre. As long as it exists, so too will I. I will endure in the hearts of those who read my grave's glyphs, in the same manner my friend does in mine. Oh, that's actually a rather sweet sentiment. You get to make your own gravestone and personalize it while you're still alive. Has it always been thus for your people? This conception of existence and death? Continue along this path to the indelible passage. Behold the history upon its walls. You may find the answer to your questions. And that's what we'll do. Your traditions are fascinating. I'd love to know more. I thank you for allowing me to share them, for in doing so will I remain in your hearts also. Aww. It's actually rather sweet sentiment. Also, we are level 93, so I fully expect, and the quest we're on right now is also a level 93, so I fully expect that soon we will, in fact, find the next thing. God damn it. Okay. Stoic Chronicler. This is another one where the purpose of the actual challenge causes us to learn about the culture. Hello. A fellow we met at Proof suggested that we come here. Yes, the High Luminary commanded that I watch for your arrival. As the chroniclers of our people, it has ever been my family's duty to pass on the teachings of the murals from generation to generation. Huh. Fascinating. They really are magnificent, and together they tell the tale of your people's history. They are the events which shaped us. I would share them with you ere you continue on your way. Please, we would love to hear all about this. I will begin. This first mule depicts a time more than 1100 years ago, an age of great prosperity for the Yaku. Blessed with size and strength unmatched by other peoples, our ancestors marched forth and brought much of Yogg-Tothrall under their dominion. Then, when all before them had been conquered, they turned their gaze northwards, seeking to expand their territory and power. Here we see the expedition to Yogg-Tothrall. Unable to cross the strait by ship, our forefathers set to building a bridge to the northern lands, a grand labor which consumed the greater part of a century. Zorgor the Boundless. We still make use of that bridge in Tuliolol for travel. Can't imagine the patience and dedication it took to complete a work of that scale. I've never heard of any Yaku living in Yogg-Tothrall. What happened to the ones who went north? Look upon this next mural and behold the answer. The scene suggests that many giants perished all at once. What manner of enemy could have repelled their invasion? A foe unnamed and unseen. When the expedition pushed forth into Yogg-Tothrall those 1,000 years ago, its soldiers were felled by disease. Some terrible illness? No virulent plague or newly arisen blight. For the local Tanawata and Chitona, it was but a mild affliction of the sort that comes with the turning of the seasons. What manifested for them as slight fevers and coughs, however, proved deadly to our people. Which is normal for diseases. It was probably a very common disease within their terrain. But to foreign invaders, of course it's going to make you ill. It's similar to how when Europeans first went to the Americas, they made many Native Americans sick because they brought with them many diseases that the Native Americans had never encountered before. And those spread across the population and killed many. Because colonizers be like that. But yes, it can work in reverse as well. Out of every 10 Yaku who joined that northern campaign, 9 succumbed to the infection. Those who survived continued to suffer, finding it difficult to sire offspring. I have heard of this before. Lacking in inherited resistance, visitors to distant lands can fall deathly ill to diseases a local might shrug off. These events might also have given rise to the practice of cremation, rather than the burial of mortal remains. This fowler depicts the return of our grieving brethren to Urkapacha. The reason they first left, why they had fought so long and pushed so far, was to ensure peace for our homeland. This undertaking began in ancient times, when our forebears learned they shared the continent with peoples unlike to us in appearance or custom. They feared invasion was inevitable. Rather than meekly await their fate, they decided to strike the first blow. Yet as they fought on, the old idea of peace drifted further and further away. Only after the disaster in Yogg-Tothrall and their withdrawal to the mountains did they come to understand. The peace we envisioned had been ours for the taking all along. It was here, in the place which birthed us. Here are the stones upon which we recorded our days here. This tranquil life we had traded for conquest and conflict. When you do nothing but fight, it can blind you to what's right before your eyes. And so you return to the present. I trust you find this brief history of our people enlightening. I did, actually. I had hoped that the first promise would learn from it too and see that conflict only breeds disaster. I'm always glad to... Shush, Google Chrome. Well, I'm always glad to learn more about my fellow Turali. How you've lived until now, and how you wish to live from now on. I believe you are ready to proceed. The High Luminary bids you meet him upon the summit of Orgar Zorma. I had a feeling we'd end up scaling that big old mountain. Well, it's a feat worthy of the name. Follow the trail south of here to begin your ascent, but be wary. Beyond the entryway, the mountainside is home to ferocious beasts, both mundane and otherwise. We'll keep that in mind. Thank you for the warning and the lesson. Finally, we know where we're going. To the top of Orgar Zorma. But before we continue, you there. By my reckoning, you look to be precisely the sort of seasoned warrior we need right now. Not far from these ruins, there are craters where the heat of Valagamar's scorched devastate yet lingers, attracting swarms of elder flints. If left unchecked, these rock-like creatures will feed on the flames there until they explode. The gathering of flints could incite a chain reaction with greater potential for harm. Normally, we stamp them out on sight, but they have begun to multiply faster than we can rout them. We are regrettably short-handed. Thus, I devise a means to impede their proliferation. Would you weaken the elder flints swarming prayers and sprinkle this warding water upon them? If it is not too much to ask, of course. Be happy to do that. We got a bunch of little side quests here. This first one, actually. What's its reward? An eye level 655 earring. A moment, if you would, visitor. You see, I was en route to deliver pigments from Warlord's Echo to Sentinel just ahead. But fool that I was, I let my guard down and when monsters attacked, I had no choice but to flee for my life, banging my rations and even my precious cargo. The beast can have the food for all I care, but that pigment is essential for the repair of our cave murals. Last I asked, no, I beseech you, go retrieve jars of pigment I left behind near the sun and stars. Okay. Firstly, the other two quests. Then we'll swing around through all of these and get everything done. This is 4 new quests in addition to the main scenario. The menu can display up to 5, so this is fine. Allergic Yaku? Aw, poor thing. This gets us a ring. Ah, I know you. You are a member of the Third Promise's retinue, as I'll call, and strong for your size, besides. I would ask a favor then. Could you pick 3 Lartorto violets and bring them to me? The field's monstrous plants and their pollen are more than my nose can bear. No one wants drippy flowers. At the very least, I do not. That is fair. Last one. Perfect timing, visitor. Have you any interest in a little trial of strength? I have here a builder's stone, freshly cut and shaped by yours truly. Let me see you carry it to northwestern Proof, where my good friend waits. That is, unless, well, a Yaku like myself could lift it with ease. But I worry they may be too heavy for your kind. Are you up to the task, little one? Yep. I have 1 minute. Actually, it's probably closer to 2 minutes. Alright, the person is higher up. I don't see them yet. There. Yay! Nearly done. Oh, running out of time. Ah, the builder's stone has arrived at last. I am grateful, of course, but I'm also confused. How did it end up in your hands? You mean to tell me that lazy oaf foisted his work onto you? Ah, these stones are miserable to carry, even for us. so I can only assume he tricked you into it somehow. On his behalf, I offer my sincere apologies. Still, you didn't seem to have much difficulty at all, you know. If I were you, I'd march right back to him and say, don't underestimate me. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. I am glad they've started doing this with regards to putting the actual icons onto these. I still am gonna keep them like this because it's nice to have a menu of them to select from. The ones that are my absolute favorites. Imagine this task is quite daunting for a puny visitor like you. Feel free. Right. I did it. What's with that smirk on your face? Surely you didn't actually carry that miserable heavy stone all the way there. You did? That seems I indeed underestimated you, and that is worthy of an apology. First, you should know that the stone you carried was urgently needed to repair a number of graves damaged in a devastating storm not long ago. Passed by, I merely thought to have some fun with an outsider, not realize I would be expecting a fellow warrior of great strength. Henceforth, I will not think so lightly of our visitors. Now there are more stones that must be taken to their proper place, and I intend to do the rest of the heavy lifting myself. Good. You should do it yourself. It's your job, after all. We'll head over to that one next, seeing as it's a bit out of the way compared to the others. Ba 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 da da. This is going to probably take up the rest of our time, to be honest, all these side quests. Yeah, I don't have a problem with it. We know where we're going anyways for the main scenario. Going along that path to get closer to the mountain. I'm actually glad that that's part of the quest line. I imagine that it's going to be a case of at the top we'll run into a certain someone and have a trial fight against him to reclaim our keystone and knock him from the running. Because honestly, he's getting annoying. Like, yeah, I know that's kind of part of the point of him, but there's only so much you can do with a character like Bakul Jaja before you just need to freaking deal with him. Like, hi there. Come on. Last one. I got it. Now we'll go deliver it and then continue with the rest of the quests. We'll probably level up whenever we do the actual duty itself. It's the level 93 duty, which is good. Anytime we unlock a new... Yeah, anytime we unlock a new duty, it's always fun. Because they give us an opportunity to both level up our characters quite a lot, as they usually give a significant amount of XP if you're doing them at level, to the point that doing them like 2 or 3 times is enough to gain a level. So doing it like 6 to 7 times gets you up 2 whole levels, which usually puts you at the right level for the next one. I didn't bother reading his thing, because side quest. But also, where are we currently with our gear log in regards to earrings? The only earring that's not currently at the level we need it is this one. Wait, really? Why didn't it... Didn't it give one that was better? What gives? Oh, wait, that's why. It was another ring rather than an earring. Ah, I see. I misread what it was. Should have given that to casting then. Ah well, too late now. Although, if I do get an earring, it's definitely going to him. To healing. Switch back to Viper, complete the quests. I'm enjoying this. See, it's always hard. Ba-ba. Oop. Weaken and then use the warding water. Alright, next one. Alright, none appeared here. Well, I better go over to the ones over there. Jar of pigment. Hopefully this isn't a transportation thing, it's just a pickup. Please just be a pickup. Well, I don't mind a fight. Yeah. Aha. Alright, done there. We'll get the main scenario moving on. And we'll go turn in the quests first. Seeing as we're gonna have to backtrack a little anyways. Trying to avoid any unnecessary fighting on the way. We'll be getting another 600,000 XP. So yay. The pain has receded in the time you were away, if only a little. Have you found the pigment? Yep, here it is. Yes, this is it. Full glad I might see it again, and with nary a crack in the jar. This will be of great use to the repair efforts. Though these particular mirrors are shielded from the sun and other elements, they still fade with time and so require regular upkeep. I intend to take part of the repairs myself, but ouch, I'm afraid I must first tend to my wounds at Sentinel. Actually, it's closer. It's more like 700,000 because it's giving me 380,000 with each. So, yeah, forgive me. I thought I could observe your progress from a safe distance, but I see now that my plan was a success. You see, our warning water is collected from the sacred depths of Carvahor the First. It has the power to greatly diminish fire energy stored within an elder flint. Subsequently, those imbued with water don't explode so much as fizzle out. In this way, only comparatively less dangerous creatures will be allowed to multiply safely. As long as we continue our regular exterminations, we need no longer live in fear of large-scale explosions. Now, please accept a small payment for your assistance. There we go. This is the one we needed. I knew one of them gave an earring. Take a look at it. It looks very similar to earrings we've gotten before. Ah well. We're caught up on side quests now. I don't see any anywhere else anyways. It will be nice when the ones for ether currents appear. But that's gonna be a later thing. Frick off hula pin. While it is nice to see more Minotaur style enemies, yeah, this thin mountain air is gonna be the death of me. How long have you been standing there? I was just taking in the scenery is all. Come on, we don't want to fall too far behind. I need to Alphano and the others. Wow. Okay, I see what they mean. Jesus. That looks like it just straight up clawed the mountain. Damn. Ah. Well, I don't feel like... As much as I don't feel like fighting... Oh no, it exploded. Interesting. Well, there we go. It's the path that leads to the mountain. You remember how the chronicler was saying that the more they fought, the further away they moved from their idea of peace? It occurs to me that if Zoralja is attempting the feat of proof, they will have heard that same lesson. I can only hope that it's made him reconsider his own stance on educating people through war. There it is. Big mountain.
Gods, that is one tall mountain. And we're supposed to climb it?
Yep, I knew we were going to eventually. We always end up going to the high points. You don't expect to walk here unchallenged. Tell me, stunted one. Did those short legs bring you all the way from Tuliolol?
He's speaking the old Yokhui tongue. The words are difficult to catch.
Though your words are crude and cumbersome, I use them for your benefit. You are a claimant in this right of succession.
That's right.
Then, if you die, Tuliolol loses a potential ruler.
Ah, don't do this.
That's a dark thing to say, friend. I get the feeling you don't share the opinions of the other Yokhui we've met.
We do not grovel before Gulul, Jar Jar, like those shameless lapdogs.
Ah, god damn it.
My brethren and I are conquerors, and we will restore our people to their rightful place as Tural's overlords.
We're gonna have to deal with this.
The giants have their own factions too, it seems.
Of course they do. Everyone has factions.
You think your kin weak for showing deference to my father, but they do not follow the man. It is his peace they respect, a peace they always wanted, which they realized could be had right here.
Justifications of the craven. They turn their gaze from our ancestors, from the dream we kept alive for 1,000 years and more.
Not sure if he's actually malicious or just part of the test, but I'm gonna assume actual malice here.
They are unworthy of bearing our legacy. I will reclaim the glory of our people.
Yeah, the way he talks definitely screams, this is my second language and I don't feel comfortable speaking it, but I'm doing so because you don't speak my tongue. Like, he's doing this very begrudgingly.
And our ascension begins with the death of the third promise.
Stop! I don't want to fight you.
Too bad.
Then die on your knees.
What's that? Whoa.
Opportunistic vermin seek to feast on us, do you? Get down here. Your neck will be the first I snap this day.
Burp. Whoa. Rushing to the aid of people who want you dead. That's, Huh. 2 fire spells from different sources of magic. Well, we're definitely gonna have to fight whatever that is. Yep.
Why do you help us?
I said we
I
didn't,
didn't put much thought into it. My legs were moving before I knew what was happening. I suppose I feared you'd die before we had the chance to get to know each other. Before I could learn more about you.
To what end?
Oh, that's simple. If we're to share the land, it's the best way for us to become friends.
Damn, even after he wanted your death, you still feel that way.
How is he?
He'll live. Not quite ready to walk under his own strength, however.
If you could stay and tend to him, the rest of us will continue on to Zormor.
Understood. Be careful up there.
This changes nothing. We will not forsake our conquest.
And?
As you like. You want to kill me, you're welcome to try. But right now, you might want to worry about your comrade.
On a mountain of that size, there are bound to be creatures even I've never heard of. I'll trust you to lead the way.
Then we climb. Grufurler is waiting.
Grufurler. I do want to check duty supports to see who would do which role for this one. If we're losing Alphino, who would be our healer? Ah, Alice can be our healer. I see. So Alice takes on dual role of healer or DPS. Kryl is pure DPS. While... that makes sense. Red mages do have healing spells. And yeah, that makes sense as well. This is pure... these two having dual roles is purely... if you're the tank, she's DPS. If you're the healer, she's DPS. Then if you're DPS, they each have their designated roles. I want to actually check something, because I didn't actually, I didn't check what this one was. Yep, it's the same story. Alphino can be one or the other. Wuklamot and Kryl. Makes sense. Well, either way, that we're waiting for next time. I'm just gonna head over to the rest village so I can get some rest XP. Because we'll be continuing this next time. Overall, it's been a good one. I know it's very short. I would have liked to go for longer, but I started a lot later than I would have liked. And I do have work early tomorrow. So, that'll be it. So, until next time, guys, as always, I've been Sparks. I look forward to seeing you all in the next video. Bye!